I'm so used to posting on TikTok now that this entire setup has thrown me off. Anyway, hi! If you know me as the ancient Geeko-Roman, if you know me as Anirin the author, if you know me as just Anirin from a sports club, hi! I have been informed that I need my continuation year for my PhD, so I am starting a GoFundMe because I am a self-funded student, and that means usually all of the funding and fees are up to me, and primarily they have been through loans. This is not an unusual route to take in the UK, so before any of the Americans get all up in a tizzy, this is actually not that weird here, and I understand that paying out of pocket for a PhD is not as common in the US, and in fact many people say don't even go, but I will guarantee you that I am not the only self-funded student within the classics department at St. Andrews, nor the UK in general. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Also out of the way before we get started, the last time I had one of these campaigns, a lot of people insisted that I was scamming people, and in retaliation, because I don't know how else to do anything but put my energy into creative endeavors, I basically made shirts out of that, which will be connected to this campaign. So if you see a shirt that essentially says, "I've been swindled by the ancient Geeko-Roman, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt, and all they got was their PhD," that is because that shirt is what came of that encounter. To get to the point, because I don't want to make this video too long, because I know how everyone's attention spans are. Like I said, I've been posting on TikTok a lot, so I do know that once we get past 2 or 3 minutes, I've lost most people. I am going to be very upfront. I'm going to be very transparent about what I'm doing with this. I'm going to make sure anything that is donated, that comes to me, I will be posting receipts essentially of my tuition or my rent or my electric bill or what have you being paid. You will get the evidence, I promise, but they'll be basically screenshots. I'm not going to show you the actual account because I don't want you to know that much about my information. I know people don't necessarily always trust that, but you're going to have to trust me, and those who have donated to me in the past, for example, to help me get here on my visa in the first place 3 years ago, you understand that I do use it for the purposes that I say. Essentially, the continuation year, I'm not paying the tuition as I would have been for the past 3 years. Now, for the past 3 years at the University of St. Andrews, I've paid approximately a little over £19,000 per year. So that's about £58,000 for the past 3 years. But for the continuation year, I believe the fee is only about £380, and I shouldn't be paying full tuition. That is my understanding. So this GoFundMe is essentially just for living expenses and just in general things to survive. So I am going to explain my American bills are essentially about 804 Great British pounds per month. My rent in St. Andrews is £1,116 per month for a 1-bedroom flat. Yes, I know it's expensive, and yes, it is cheaper than some of the other places I've looked where I had to live with a person and it was £2,000 each. I'm not kidding. I actually am in what would be arguably an affordable flat in this city, town. Where am I? It is considered affordable here. I know that's upsetting, but I once again want to be transparent about how much money I will be needing per month to survive. My energy bill is £83 per month. My internet bill is £28 per month. And my phone bill for my mobile phone is £46 per month. So altogether, all of that is £2,077 per month, which is a lot of money, especially if you're converting it now to American dollars for my American friends. And I am asking for help. We all need help sometimes. I know we're all struggling, so if you can't donate, I don't want you to feel bad, but I would really appreciate a share, and that will help as well. The more people that see it, the more people that could possibly help. I know a lot of the places that I once would have posted this are not as frequented by the classics community anymore, so I'm going to do my best to push it out to the people who I know will want to help and care about scholars like me who are basically underfunded or not funded at all, or, you know, early career research students trying to get their PhD finished. If you want to know about my PhD, I'll explain it in just a second. Be aware that all of those costs I've talked about is before any other bills, which, like food, necessities like soap or laundry, detergent, things like that, just stuff around the house that, you know, cleaning supplies, all of those things. I didn't put any clothing budget whatsoever in there, which is something that St. Andrews usually asks for when you talk about how much money you need for things. And then just like fun money, I didn't include or anything, because that is like, I do fun stuff, and I clearly have a collection of things that I like to read and consume because I need to have something to keep my sanity while I am working on my PhD, which I'm going to explain now. My PhD is about the authority of reconstructing ancient Greek religion for contemporary practice. What that means is I am looking at how people who worship the Greek gods now decide what is correct, quote, quote, and how they approach reconstructing or rebuilding ancient Greek religion for the modern world. So I have had ethnography interviews, I've put out a questionnaire, I've finished up all of that stuff. I am honestly this close to just having a full first draft, and I just need to really work on those chapters. I talk about the relationship between gods and people. I talk about the idea of religious clergy in the modern world compared to the ancient world, sacred spaces, beliefs and practices, and divine intervention. Those are all subjects that I cover in my thesis. So it is a big project, obviously, because it is a PhD thesis. If you think that that's important, I would really encourage you to help me finish, because I'm one of the first people to write about it. There are more people writing about it now, but a lot of the published works that are out there already are essentially still kind of being surprised that contemporary Hellenic polytheist people exist in the first place, rather than focusing on something specific within the community and doing more ethnography work and anthropological work and understanding how the religious community functions as a whole and what that means and how it can inform how we understand ancient Greek religion of the past. That's something that's important to me, and I hope to you as well. I know this was a long video. I hope that was enough to explain, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Everything else should be broken down in the list below, and if anything else is unclear, please feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. Have a great day, like I said, and go drink some water, make sure you have a snack, take your medicine, and thank you for listening. Bye!